Hello, good morning. Welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Well, we have from 2016 Piperdean blended Scotch whiskey, oak cask matured, premium quality. Well, they have oak cask matured, so that really is a meaningless statement. But anyway, there it is, Piperdean. No website listing, no age statement. I think there's a new label for it. I have to check next time I go to one of the stores that carries it. Not sold in my town, but I can get it at Albertsons in Hammond, Louisiana, which is about 45 minutes from here. All right, not that I would make a trip for that, but if I was in that town. Dewar's blended Scotch whiskey, Ilegal Smooth. Mezcal cask finished in Ilegal Mezcal casks. This is aged 8 years before finishing it in the cask. Introduced in 2019, a Bacardi Ltd brand in collaboration with Ilegal Mezcal. All right. Coffee cup, forgot to put that up. Don't expect it to be much of a challenge, but you never know. That's why you do the challenge, and I do it blind, so it's getting low, the Piperdean, but it's still got enough for probably 6 or 7 taste. Well, let's say 5 taste challenges. It could be 7, but I would say at least 5. Yeah. Metal cap. Oh, man. That's even. Nice alcohol legs. The Dewar's Ilegal Mezcal is slightly darker, but just a little bit. So I don't think I'll have to close my eyes, because I think once I get them mixed up, I will not confuse the two. That thing got drips on it from washing dishes. I was very careful when I washed the dishes. Get it really hot, scalding. Get it real clean, let it drip dry, but don't dare put glass in the dishwasher. That scuffs everything up. Makes it look ugly, like scratches it. It's kind of like the car wash. Bring your truck or car through there, and it kind of over time scratches it up. Little bitty fine hair, just the finest little. But it's such a pain to wash a car or a truck that people just do it because, and I'm one of those. It's just aggravating. You know? It's so tedious to wash it. Yeah, by hand. Of course, it is done better by hand. I guess obviously it is. But my dishwasher broke. The heating element doesn't work anymore. And I'm glad, and I'm not replacing it. I'm glad. I said, okay, let it be broken, because I just don't like the way they come out. And it's not hard for me to wash dishes. It's actually easy. So really, just keep up with it. Keep it washed. Don't let it pile up. All right. Anyway, I think the Piperdean is going to be too bland, and the Ilegal Mezcal, which is not exactly burst, the Ilegal Smooth, Dewar's Ilegal Smooth, is not like bursting with flavor. It's like super flavorful, but it is pretty flavorful relative to a lot of the other blended scotches that I have. Okay, so that's why. And what's going to be the tip off? Well, I'll tell you. And then we have no Dawn Busters tomorrow. There's nothing planned for tomorrow, but then Thursday, yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and skip Monday. But the thing about it is Illegal Smooth is going to have honey top white bread crust, smoke, not in the aroma, no, but in the flavor. You could pick up the smoke right off, and a little funny, strange, odd bell pepper note. And they're correct in their website talking about that. Piperdean. It's so basic. It's just going to taste like cereal grain. Just like, say, unsweetened cornflakes. And corn is sweet on its own merits. So, but it ain't going to taste like much. But for $6.49 a bottle, no complaints, you know. I noticed that Highland Mist jumped up in price when I was at International Market last year. It was $6.49. Now it jumped up $1.50. It's $7.99. I said, oh man, I'll never buy it again anyway. I mean, I just noticed that the price went up. I don't repeat buy these things. I've got too many other challenges to do to be repeat buying, except I bought Johnny Walker Red Label. Well, that makes sense because that's like the prototype blended Scotch. So it's like a benchmark. So yeah, I want to have that as a reference point. But all the rest, you know, when they go on, they go on. They're going, they're going. Yeah, I get a little rich. Honey top white bread crust and some of that bell pepper. Reminds me, I need to get bell pepper. And maybe the serrano pepper. I might have to go pass by Walmart this morning. I like to go to Walmart at 7 a.m., something like that. Otherwise, you go at 2 p.m., it's like total chaos in there. It's so crowded. But 7 a.m., it's pretty quiet. Just be some people getting off of shift work, like getting off at 6 a.m. They go shopping on the way home from Marathon. The huge Marathon oil refinery. I think it's the biggest marathon one in the world. Biggest one for marathon in the world, I'm saying, not the biggest oil refinery in the world. So you see a lot of people with their jumpsuits, you know, their work outfits. They'd be from all over the United States and the world. A lot of transient population here because it's always been that way since I've been living here. They move in, work at Marathon, work at DuPont, work at Cargill, the big grain company, Nalco, another Shell oil, Shell chemical, and Valero, and etc. And they then went, or the steel mill here, which is supposed to reopen, and then they'll be off somewhere else when they get shifted to another place. So I don't think people live around here but for about 3 years, then they're gone. Except for the old, you know, that 15% of the population that's entrenched. The other 85 is in and out. Now this smells like just basic cereal grain, like I told you, like cornflakes without the sweet sugar added. It's not a bad aroma, but it's just a basic aroma. It's like any other blended whiskey you wanted to get. If you got Canadian, well, that has that little weird flavoring thing going, which some people like, including myself, and some people that really dislike. Fine, personal preference issue. American blended whiskey be like this, except maybe a little more treacherous in the aroma because American blended whiskey, they seem like they use the cheapest of the cheap grains. Just seems that way. I mean, I'm talking in general term, not specific terms. There's really good exceptions. Seagram 7 Crown, for example. Irish blended, same thing. It's kind of bland. Good morning, Ron. You nailed it again. Unsweetened cornflakes is the best description of Piperdean I've heard, says the Dixie bass man. Oh, thank you. It took me a while to figure that out. Like, I didn't just come up with it like in a flash of brilliance. No, I was trying to pin it down for years. Then I kind of got it. Okay, taste time. C note 250. Yes, that's why I call my beer Louisiana Beer Reviews. Louisiana Beer Reviews. All right, we got the smoke. Oh yeah, you get cereal grain. the corn, yeah, the base. It's probably 80%. Grain whiskey, meaning corn. They don't have to use corn, they can use rice. But in Scotland, you know, they're not going to use rice. In Japan, they might. Thailand, they might. India, Burma, Myanmar. But they're using corn or maize, as they call it in Europe. Then you've got a little bread dough from the single malt. You got that strange little twang or twist from the mezcal casks, which comes across like bell pepper or something, and the honey top white bread crust. Is it a great product? Well, I think it is a most excellent blended Scotch whiskey, and that's why I scored it a 94. It's only $19.99, and Johnny Walker Blue Label is $226 plus tax, and that only scored 1 point higher. I scored that a 95. This is a 94. So would I pay $206 more for something that was 1 point better? I don't think so. But I did it. It's the past. You know, you live and you learn. But I'm going to probably buy some more expensive ones, so I can't say too much. I got so many on the list. The Piperdean now. Well, I think I'll be sipping on these for a few hours. I ain't guzzling this. It's not that much. See, these are, I mean, we're not talking about a lot. Look how small it is compared to my hand. These little glasses. But still, I want to be careful. Yeah, this is about the most base model of the base models for blended Scotch. It doesn't get much lower tier. It doesn't get any lower tier than this. I mean, this is the cuttest of the cut rate. $6.49 a bottle. I don't think it's as good as Highland Mist, and Highland Mist isn't exactly that good. I don't know what to say about it. You get some oak. Now, that's true. You get some basic oak, but it's like toothpick wood. You know, it's just like wood, like not like charred oak with bourbon and all. It's just like a toothpick. Not a bad thing, but not anything that you'd be craving to say, oh, I'm so exasperated because I want to try a toothpick. You know, I want to chew on a toothpick. I mean, some people are nervous and they chew on it because they're nervous. But I mean, you know, to say I want to taste it, no. So sweet corn fermented, you know, fermented and distilled up to a high proof and then watered down to 80 proof. Blended with various grain whiskeys and single malts of probably the least expensive sort. Barrel age, or I'm sorry, Scotland cask age for 3 years in oak cask. 3 years and a day. I think the law is 3 years and 1 day. And then sold to the United States in bulk and bottled in Lexington, Kentucky. Louisville, Kentucky. And that's about it. It's just basic whiskey. Now you say, oh, well, I don't care. I'm not picky. I like basic whiskeys. As long as it's cheap and I can mix it with anything, I'll take it. It's done to perfection for that. If you're just looking for the most basic product without any kind of appreciable flavor, but then importantly, no off aromas or tastes, you know, nothing wanky or weird about it. Or as they say in merry old United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, as they say over there, nothing dodgy about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just basic, but not foul or anything. That'll work. It's done perfect. And I would suspect that the Winn-Dixie brand Scotch is probably the same product in a different label because they're both from the Founders Company and they both bottle in Louisville, Kentucky. So are they making one kind of basic Scotch and then bottling it and labeling it in different bottles and labels and sending it off to various places like Winn-Dixie or Jewel Osco or Albertsons, super value stores, or Walmart? My guess would be yes, that's exactly what they're doing. I mean, who's going to complain? It isn't like you went to Walmart and bought their store brand. Well, their store brand supposedly is Caliber. But I still see Caliber at other stores that are clearly not Walmart, so I can't figure that out. They might sublet it, sublease it or whatever. But yeah, I mean, nobody's going to buy that thinking, oh, it's going to be so intricate. It's going to be so exquisite. I can't believe it for $10.99 a handle bottle. Yeah, right. Nobody's going to say that. Now, if you buy the Illegal Mezcal in collaboration with Dewar's, the Illegal Smooth, yeah, you're expecting something. You pay $19.99. They're touting it on the bottle like it's all of this fancy pants stuff. Yeah, it's a gimmick. Okay, fine. But yeah, it lives up to the billing. It is really exciting. Exciting and new. And like they're saying on the bottle, come aboard. They've been expecting you. That was a fifth. Yes. Johnny Walker's overpriced. I've seen quality single malts go for half that price. Well, actually, I don't know what you're referring to, a fifth. I bought a fifth of Johnny Walker, but Martin Wine Cellar has it for $17.99. $17.99 a fifth, and they've got the handle bottles for $32.99. Pretty good deal. So I'm not sure what you mean. I've seen quality single malts go for half that price. Half of 32. You've seen single malts for $16. I've had 25-year Glenfarclas for $6. Oh, you're talking about the Johnny Walker Blue Label. Oh yeah, well, yeah, it was a fifth, $7.50. Yeah, it was $226 plus tax, and that's cheap because most places is much higher. But you see, that's a whole different world. I mean, they're using Scotch whiskeys from distilleries that went out of business 60 years ago. Like the company shut down 60 years ago. And Johnny Walker and Sons just went in there and bought all their backstock, their whole facility. They didn't use the facility. They just probably sold the land, and they took the barrels and brought them to their, had them marked and brought them to their aging houses, their warehouses. So we talking about a blend of, it could be 5, 8, 10-year-old whiskeys, just basic grain whiskeys, but blended in with single malts that are, like I said, 40, 50, 60 years old and aged. Well, it's probably just blended and sold because the age is so different from one to another. That's why they're not going to put an age statement, because if they have some 5-year-old grain whiskey, they don't want to call it a 5-year-old if they got 60-year-old whiskeys blended in. Is Johnny Walker Blue Label the best blended Scotch I ever tried? Yes. As evidenced by the taste challenges. Now you smell it, doesn't smell like much. You taste it, you say, that's great and all in a way. And I scored it at 95, in my solo review. But you're just thinking, man, this is not worth it. I mean, I paid all this money for a 95. It should be above 100. It should be world class, plus 100 plus. To me, world class is above 100. It's like better than perfect. But it didn't do that. But then when I put it in blind taste tests, it always destroys the competition. So that's where the thing, your true colors come shining through, because it doesn't seem to be much. But you put it in a blind taste test, there's no way. Nothing compares to you. Oh, crazy girl. And that's the real clincher on that Blue Label. You put in a blind taste test, nothing can make it. Nothing can beat it. And I don't even know why exactly, but I know one thing. I always say this is way better, and then I look and it's Johnny Walker Blue. No. So if people are not willing to do a blind taste test, they really shouldn't jump up. Because I got some people, they jump up. Like, some people are punks that jump up to get beat down. And they'll say, not saying any commentators here, no, but they'll say, you don't know, yeah, et cetera, et cetera. And I say, did you ever do a blind taste test? Well, no, I don't have time for that. I'm too good for that. I was like, okay, well, then why are you talking to me? Because that's the key to the riddle. You got to eliminate any kind of bias, or you try to. Caliber would double as gun cleaner or lighter fluid. Yeah. Actually, I kind of like it, but maybe I like drinking gun cleaner and lighter fluid. I think Prince wrote "Nothing Compares to You." Oh yeah. He was probably sitting there. He was probably sitting in the park when he wrote that song. Sitting in the park. Of course, he was probably sitting in Paisley Park, you know. But and all of that. And he was probably wearing a red beret, a raspberry beret. Well, you know, it's kind of reddish. Well, if you're drinking Four Loko Blue Raz, it's the blue beret. Oh, he was probably wearing a raspberry beret that he probably didn't get it at Neiman Marcus, or he probably bought it at a secondhand store, more than likely. All right, you know, that's the kind you buy at a secondhand store. I think morning early bird, says Jules. Julie's got a peace sign. She's got one hand in her pocket and the other one's making a peace sign. And she's drinking coffee and she's looking at the sun. And she got some whiskey in a jar. She's probably listening to Blue Oyster Cult's 1988 song, The Siege and Investiture of Baron von Frankenstein's Castle in Wissyria. I love the punks jump up to get beat down reference to Ron. Brand Nubian. Okay. Well, y'all always smoking me out. Y'all sniffed me out like I was Tanqueray. And then y'all saw that carpet burn. And then my stomach turned. Howdoski, Ronaruski. Oh, I'm fine. I'm like the Beatles. I feel fine. All right. I didn't think I could drink all this. I mean, I wouldn't drink something like this before 6 a.m. I'm not insane. I'm not like part of an insane something posse. No, but what I'm trying to communicate to you is that I have been sipping on it, and I sipped it all away. I know it's like long ago and oh so far away. I fell in love with this whiskey before the second show. Okay, well, anyway, Dewar's win so easily, oh so very easily, and then coming up like a flower, coming up on Thursday is Brandy. Get ready for Brandy. Such a fine girl. What a good wife that drink would be. No, Brandy's coming up, and it's Brandy Fundador from España, Rey de España, Kingdom de España. Solera brandy from 1874, introduced in 1874, produced by Pedro Domecq, a French immigrant to España from the Kingdom of France, La France. Well, I guess when he moved there, he was from the French Empire of Napoleon Bonaparte III. Napoleon Bonaparte III. What you drinking? What you got? What's it all about? I was doing Dewar's Illegal Smooth versus the very lowly Piperdean. Oh well. I love this show. Luther Vandross, Prince, Brand Nubian, and Amy Winehouse, all before 7 a.m. Fantastic. So many fantastic colors. Okay. Whatever it is must be good. Well, one of them was good at least. The other one was so dull, so plain, so nondescript, but not bad, not bad. Don't take it the wrong way. I'm looking forward to the continuation of the brandy journey, says Jeep and Foodie Caleb. The brandy journey, yes. I'm very excited. I've got, and I'm closing this out, y'all. I'm getting off, y'all. I'm closing out, y'all. Okay, we went all the way on and on and on until the break of dawn. There's the daylight coming out. Good morning, says Commerce Ozzy. Love this MC Retro Ron episode, says Julie. Heard the Carpenters even. Carpenters? Oh, come on now. You making me feel like I'm on top of the world looking down on creation. And the only explanation I can find is that I got the brandy coming up. And it's going to be the brandy from the door versus Martell VS. Oh, yeah, cognac. And then Martell Blue Swift. Ooh, finishing bourbon barrels. And then we got the Corbel California brandy. California, standing on the golden shore like an angel. Fire burning in the air. Okay, that's coming up. Then we've got what else I have? Oh, the brandy Saint Louis from La France, Republic La France, Republic La France. And then we've got what's that other one coming up? The good brandy. Oh, the Saint Remy XO. Oh yeah. And that's going to be really exciting. And then I have even more shocking news. Are you ready? People, get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Because here comes the news. It's going to be rye whiskey. Oh, don't ask why. Say rye. It's going to be Old Overhaul, the original American old-time Pennsylvania rye, now made in Kentucky because the company got bought out. Old Overhaul. Yeah, it's kind of basic. Yeah, but that's okay because, yeah, I'm going to taste challenge it with everything. Everybody love me. Everybody love me. And then, if you want to get techno, I got bourbon coming up. Is it an exciting bourbon? I don't know how many people get excited about ancient age, 90 proof. Yeah, you heard me. 90 proof. Yeah. Coming up. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Now, to mention all the beer. Okay, so that's it. Comments, and then we out. My favorite booze is Kessler. Oh, Julius Kessler blended American whiskey. Way back from the 1800s, too. And it's got a higher percentage of straight bourbon in it. And Julius Kessler, it's the second most popular American bourbon blended whiskey behind Seagram 7 Crown. But it did get bought out. You know, Jim Beam bought them out so long ago. I just got done watching your new video this morning. Oh yeah, for the Fundador, right? Kessler, smooth as silk. Yep, that's their tagline, smooth as silk. Commerce, Ozzy, it sure is. Yeah, it is smooth. Now, if you want to try something that's rough, woo, talk to me off air. I'll give you a list. But you may not gag. I've been waiting forever for Old Overhaul. Will there be a solo review? Yes, that's the plan. Do my typical thing. Record a solo review of Old Overhaul, and then I'm gonna watch everybody else's. It's probably take forever. There's probably dozens. Then start rolling with the taste challenges. Jack Daniel's Rye, Woodford Reserve Rye, George Dickel Rye, and so on. So that's going to be really exciting. I love rye whiskey. It's got that spice to it that to me makes it so much better than bourbon. But don't say that on air. Don't let me say that on air. People get so angry if you say anything about bourbon. That's their idol. They worship it, you know. And I'm not an anti-bourbonite. I'm not out here to have an axe to grind against bourbon. All right. I'm just saying it's not my preferred thing. I've been waiting for Night Train Express. Well, unfortunately, you're going to wait forever because the bad news is it was discontinued. Even the bums turned against it. You said, I've never read that on the internet. Well, it's not on the internet. It's on HoboNet because the vagrants have their own internet or like their own World Wide Web. And they'll be communicating with each other and they'll say, go to this city. They got the most lax laws. You could do anything there and they give you all kind of free stuff. And you can congregate in the foyer of a restaurant, expensive restaurant, and the restaurant will come give you food because they want to signal to everybody in the town how virtuous they are. So they'll all show up in that town and be layabouts. So that's hobo net. And then they'll say to each other, "Don't go there, don't go there." They'll tell you get out. You know, they're like Andy Griffith over there. They'll tell you get out. They won't even let you lay on the street and everything. All right. So, but I don't really get on hobo net too much. Okay then, Thunderbird. Oh well, yes, but I have trouble finding Thunderbird. It seems the only ones I find is really old bottles, but that's been reformatted. If you look at the new Thunderbird website, got all new bottle designs. Don't think it'll save it though. He doesn't prefer bourbon. Get him. Yeah, right. Get him. All right. Thanks for watching this video production. And we got some much more exciting stuff coming because this wasn't exciting. A mismatch of epic proportions.